giving you 1 hour of intense, hard-hitting analysis from an insider's perspective. It's time for the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Good morning. Welcome into the Martin Houston Show on Tide 100.9 on your radio dial. The Martin Houston Show can be seen in video on Martin Houston Live on Facebook, Martin Houston Live on YouTube, as well as at Tide 109 on Facebook and at Martin Houston 35 on Twitter. We're live and local and ready to get things rolling this morning, inviting you to be a part of the conversation at 205-342 9904 205-342 9904. The Taco Casa hotline is open for business. Want to invite you to get in on the conversation and bring the content on this Free for All Friday. We will continue to talk recruiting right here on the Martin Houston Show, delve into the class just a little bit more, also talk about Alabama's potential to land another recruit, which will possibly push them a little closer to the number one class. And they still got work to do. Alabama inking only 22 players. We'll talk more about that as well as a couple of ancillary stories going on around the college football and sports world. We'll talk about that and invite you to join the conversation once again on the Taco Casa hotline at 205-342-9904. Remember that this is the day that the Lord has made, so let's rejoice and be glad in it. Take some time today to notice someone, love someone, serve someone, be the difference you want to see in the world today. I want to remind you that the Alabama basketball team will be in action on tomorrow as they'll have a good game for a rebound game after the, I guess, somewhat disappointing loss. We hadn't talked a lot about to Memphis in terms of the 92-78 win. A lot of that was about Memphis and not as much about Alabama. Heard people say that Alabama may have been looking ahead or reading their press clippings. I think Penny Hardaway just got through to his team, and a very talented Memphis team decided to play ball together on that particular day a couple of days ago and put it all together, played unbelievable individual and team defense, forcing Alabama to be rushed. I mean, Joe, did you get to watch much of that Memphis game?
I watched the second half of it. We were out in the first half, but I got home and watched the second half of it. It looked like our guys were a bit out of gas yesterday on Tuesday night.
Yeah, it's hard to believe when you when you say that as fast as Alabama goes, and the announcers talked a lot about it. They were kind of rushed, and that's hard sometimes for people to grasp. How can a team that wants to go fast be rushed? Alabama wants to go fast at their pace, but they want to create. By going fast, Joe, their ultimate goal is to create an advantage where they end up getting wide open threes or a drive to the lane. And it got to a point where they would be on that 3-point line, man. And when it got to them, they knew if they didn't hurry up and put it up, then they wouldn't be open for long because of the way Memphis was playing. And that kind of threw the shots off early, and it just kind of continued. I think we had 11 turnovers in the first half, and then there was one stint in the second half right at there when they kind of blew it open, got it up to a 19-point lead. I think we had 4 turnovers in a row, and it was just
Mark,
go ahead.
All good. All that's well and good, but the real reason Alabama lost is that ugly floor Missed all
Oh,
his eyes.
my my daughter, she was like, they just did too much. I mean, they hadn't even shown the whole floor. Uh, Morgan, she's studying to be an athletic trainer, and so I guess she kind of knows that she'll have to be at places like that. She was like, "That is just way too much." And it was, man. I mean, God, it was hard sometimes to even look at on television, and that has to be something to get used to, Joe. Like I always think about going to Boise, or who is it? East Washington, or something that has the red field in
Yeah, East
football.
Washington was ugly.
Yeah, it is ugly. In Memphis, I don't know who has an uglier basketball court, but I did think that was pretty ugly. So we just solved it, Joe. We thought it was something about our team, and it was all about the football. I mean, it was all about the court. so, but seriously, we two things, Joe, that I think will serve us well in a close win against Houston and a loss against Memphis. I think is going to serve this basketball team well. We have got to fix our offensive rebounding, and if we go back if we run into a Gonzaga or a team like that in the playoffs, you look forward to Auburn. If they don't have pick and roll in their offense, if they watch the Memphis game, they're going to put it in. I guess that's one way to kind of take advantage of that three guard offense that we put out there to take advantage of it. But they got a lot of shots at the rim, and then when their threes started going, it just magnified what they were trying to do.
Absolutely, we got to get it. We got to get it back on track. The rebounding makes me concerned. Maybe we'll see Keon Ambrose Hilton get some minutes on Saturday night. Give him some experience. He seems like a big body guy that maybe not as skilled, but a guy we can throw out there to get those rebounds. And maybe we get him some minutes on Saturday to start working him into the rotation to prepare for teams. Teams hitting the glass very hard.
And who was that you said? I didn't pick up the name.
Keon Ambrose Hilton.
Okay, yeah. We're gonna have to do something because this, like I said, both the offensive rebounding that you saw from Houston in the pick and roll has to do with the team, taking advantage of their size and athletic ability. And we're athletic, so we just have to be stronger on the glass and put more bodies on people. And the same thing with the pick and roll. We were just playing the pick and roll too loose. We weren't physical enough on the pick and roll. And they were able to get the ball to their bigs and as they were going to the goal because we were giving space. So you have to be a little more physical on the pick and roll, switch it a little faster and stay, I call it connected, to the guy that's rolling to the goal. You got to stay connected with him. Whichever way you decide to play it, you just can't leave that much space for a guy that's 6'8", 7 foot, somewhere between 6'8" and 7 foot, inside the lane, going to the goal. You're going to either foul or he's going to score. So anyway, let's go ahead. I got a couple calls. We got a couple people asking questions. One basketball related. Curtis Moore II asked, "Do I think people are going to use Memphis's blueprint against Alabama?" Absolutely. I think they'll use that as well as what they saw Houston do: attack the boards on the offensive end and try to create more opportunities. I think Houston scored 23 points on offensive rebounds, and you cut that in half, and Alabama walks the dog on the Houston Cougars. So they just have to do better there. All right, let's go to Super Joe. You're in with the Martin Houston Show. What's on your mind, sir? Super Joe's gone. Alan, you're in with the Martin Houston Show. What's on your mind, sir?
Hey, good morning. How you doing today?
Doing well, sir. And you?
Hey, I'm doing good. I was just talking about the caller from yesterday. We were talking about the guy that went to at the Jack State with Coach Prime. And at one time, I was thinking the same thing. Why would he go to Jack State? Then you start thinking about it. Who else would be better to teach the guy? I mean, the guy. I mean, who was better than Deion Sanders to teach that position? And he's put together a staff down there that equals almost anyone you want to look at. I mean, he got a good recruiter. At one time, I think he had Warren Sapp down there coaching. I mean, I think he did. I'm not sure, but you know, he put a good coaching staff. And nowadays, it makes no difference where you play at, HBCU or any other college. If you're good, they're going to find you. And at this day, the kids are there for education, and education is the bottom line. Because all them kids are not going to the NFL. They're not going to the NBA, and they got to have something to fall back on. And the education down at Jack State is excellent.
Well, you know, Alan, and the point I tried to point out yesterday when that was brought up was insinuating that he doesn't have a choice. That just because Alabama is where we love or Auburn is where they love, that kid could have family reasons to go. You know, why would a kid? Okay, let me ask you this, Alan. Do we ask why a kid being recruited by Alabama would choose to go to Missouri or choose to go to Ole Miss? We don't ask that question, right?
I got a better example than that one. Why did Tui come to Alabama if we're from Hawaii? He would across the United States.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Why?
He wanted to come there.
We don't. That's right. We don't ask the why. When we don't know, it makes us feel really bad. And I know Pat, and I don't think he was being racial in his intent. It just doesn't make sense to him. But he doesn't understand why. And for the part that made me respond was that it started off with about the contract not being signed, and the contract can't be signed because the kid is from the state of Florida, who had a law that said they couldn't sign until they enrolled. Okay, that doesn't mean that they hadn't offered him. And this kid's the number one recruit in the nation. He let me tell you, he has been offered NILs. I don't care where he went. And right now, if Barstool didn't sign him, they should. Why? Because Barstool just got national media coverage all day yesterday and the day before. Not because of Barstool. There are people who know about Barstool that had never even heard of Barstool now. I mean, before yesterday. Because of that kid. That's the whole point of marketing, is that your name, your brand, and your image goes out there, and this kid will be followed. And here's I read an article, Alan, that said that when he went on his official visit this summer or this spring, this fall, there was guys in the recruiting world who said, hey, man, it's a possibility that he might go there. And they did not. And the guy said in the article, but we did not follow up. So to us, it was a shock, right?
Correct.
Let me tell you my personal experience, Alan. My senior year, I went to 7 Auburn games in Auburn. I went to 6 my freshman year in Auburn, 7 and 8 my sophomore and junior year, 7 my senior year. You know how many times I've been to Tuscaloosa?
How many?
I never came to Tuscaloosa to watch a football game. The first time I saw a football game in Tuscaloosa, I was already on scholarship. My senior year, the first time I saw Alabama play was against Florida in Birmingham. And I saw 3 games that year. They got beat by Florida. Emmitt Smith, Lewis Oliver.
I remember that.
And I said,
Emmitt Smith ran all over.
Yes. And I said to myself, hey, I might want to go to this school. And so I started looking. And I started researching what their degree program was. And I saw that they were going to be that business was good. And I was either going into computer science or business. Okay. And they had a decent computer science program, but a really, really good business school, and still do to this day. Okay. And then I looked and said, okay, they don't have anybody playing fullback that's going to be back. Kevin Turner was injured. Wayne Shaw was injured. And the guys who were playing fullback when I got here, William Kent was a tailback, and then he moved to fullback by the time I got on campus. But he was and then Doug Allen and Bo Wright were both seniors. So I looked and thought, I may come here and can play. And then the other school I was going to, strictly, the coach himself, and I know I'm going on a long time, but people who have never been through this process don't get it, how kids make decisions. I was going to NC State. The coach stopped recruiting me on football. You know what he told me? He said, Martin, if you're choosing, Coach Pate, he said, if you're choosing your college strictly on football, he said, I might well stop wasting my time. He said, but I've looked at your high school resume. You're taking computer classes, and so you need to come to NC State. And he strictly, for 6 months, from the time, actually longer than that, but 6 straight months, every time he calls me, he talked to me about the recruiting triangle of Duke, North Carolina, North Carolina State, and how, Martin, even if you don't ever make it in football, if you come up here and get a degree from NC State, you'll be able to take care of your family for the rest of your life. We'll get you internships. And he did all of that. And guess what happened? You know how I ended up in Tuscaloosa? You know where I was going? NC State. Yeah. You know what happened on the day of my visit? I was supposed to go up. January 9th, I never forget it. It snowed and my flight was canceled. January 16th, I came to Tuscaloosa, and first time on campus in Tuscaloosa. Fell in love with it, committed to Coach Curry before I left and went home. And the next morning, the guy was in Birmingham, and he said, Martin, he said, I told you, please promise you wouldn't commit. He said, if you come to campus up here, I know you're going to commit. And I said, I know. That's why I'm not coming. I said, I'm going to stick with my decision to go to Alabama. That's how I ended up at Alabama. I mean,
and the other question is, if it would say, why did he go to Jackson State? It brings the question what you just said. Why not?
Why exactly? Why not? Because we look at things the way we look at it, and the only thing that really upset me yesterday was when Pat said that we're going backwards. No, we're not.
That upset me. We're not going back.
We're not going backwards.
Because
go ahead.
I'm looking at the price of the school. How much it costs to go to the school? I mean, Stillman College is more expensive than Alabama is.
Yeah.
And yesterday I looked. When he said that, I went and looked at some of the stuff at Stillman versus Alabama, and I realized Stillman College has their baseball team is all white.
Yeah.
But them want to play, and so it shocked me.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine called me, and she said her daughter goes there, and she didn't get a scholarship nowhere else. Yep. And she's a Caucasian, and she loves it. She said she learned stuff she did not know, and she wouldn't trade it for the world.
Right, and that's why I said we're not going backwards. The whole point of it is Doug Williams and all of those great players didn't have a choice. The beauty of choice is I can go to Alabama or I can go to Jackson State. Before I only could go to Jackson State. That's not going backwards. That's progress. And this young man used his choice. He used his choice, his freedom, his right, and his ability to choose Jackson State. Whether he sticks it out, stays, I don't know. That's but I've already heard people say, well, he's not going to stay. Well, what's the difference? I look in the transfer portal. No one's saying Bo Nix is staying at Auburn, and he had a daddy and wins and all of that. So what if the young man doesn't stay? That doesn't mean he made a mistake when he went. That just means that he changed his mind. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna jump out. Alan, you You ain't
Have
got
a
me.
good day.
You ain't got me stirred up, Alan. I'm gonna calm down. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Y'all have a good day. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Hey, Joe, hold on to the other side. I apologize, went a little long, but it's just a passion of mine is understanding. We sometimes as fans and like I said, I do not think Pat was saying that to be mean or anything like that. I just think it was a not understanding. And Curtis Lewis pointing out that Deion may have another 5-star coming his way with another future commitment. So don't be shocked if that was the beginning and not the end of some amazing recruiting stories coming out of at least Jackson State, if not other HBCUs. Come back on the other side. We'll continue the conversation right here on the Martin Houston Show.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
From the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center, no active wrecks as we begin our Friday morning. Traffic fairly light. If you do see conditions throughout the day, just give us a call, 205-886-8886. It's the end of year clearance right now at Townsend Nissan. A great selection, low finance rates, and they need your trade. Go see them. I'm Captain Ray.
The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and get you back on the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Join Randy Smalley and me, Captain Ray, for the Randy and Ray football forecast, where we pick the games against the spread. It's this Friday at 7 on Tide 100.9.
BMW of Tuscaloosa. This Christmas, consider the gift of a lifetime. An immaculate state-of-the-art BMW. Their starting lineup of 2022 BMWs is stacked with all-stars, including 7 sports activity vehicles, each crafted to balance dynamic power, spacious interior, and impeccable design in ways only BMW can. Visit BMWofTuscaloosa.com or stop by to get to know your hometown BMW team.
Home is where you want it to be in your new RV from Burton Campers in Calera. Burton Campers specializes in towables. Right now, every travel trailer and fifth wheel is at the lowest price of the year. Nobody sells them for less. Come let us prove it. If you're tired of being stuck at home, take home on the road. See America in your new Burton Campers RV. Be certain with Burton. Burton Campers at exit 231 on I-65 in Calera. Nobody sells RVs for less.
Cardiology consultants Drs. Hill, Anderson, Lewis, Shaw, Caraway, and Proctor welcomes Dr. Vishal Daya to their practice in November. Dr. Daya is board certified in cardiovascular disease and is board eligible in interventional cardiology. Cardiology consultants are pleased to welcome Dr. Daya to the team of high quality and compassionate physicians. Now accepting new patient appointments, 205-752-0694.
High prices don't get you a great network. A great network gets you a great network. It's why Total Wireless runs on the largest, most dependable network with nationwide 5G. And now our totally unlimited plan is just $50 a month for talk, text, and high-speed data that never run out. Get unlimited laughing, scrolling, unlimited everything. Total Wireless. Do amazing. Available at Total Wireless stores. Capable device and SIM required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. Total Wireless reserves the right to review your account after 60 gigs. Terms and conditions at totalwireless.com/terms.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
New record highs are likely later today. A mixture of clouds and sunshine, the high at 76. For tonight, becoming cloudy, the chance of a shower after midnight, the low 62. Tomorrow, cloudy with occasional showers and possibly a thunderstorm, the high at 70. I'm James Spann of the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 62 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Scott Smith and Sophomart Design, doing business for 17 plus years, specializing in graphic design services, commercial printing, promotional products, advertising specialties, and so much more. Basically, any and everything you would need to advertise, promote, and grow your business. Through strong partnerships, strong customer service, and creative ideas, they'll help you market and grow your business. Give Scott a call at 205-292-4680 or email scottis@comcast.net and visit them online at sophmartdesign.com. Hello, I'm Martin Houston. And while I get really excited about football season, I love the holiday season even more. Merry Christmas from the Tide 109 family and the Martin Houston Show. Roll Tide.
it's every player's opportunity if they're mid-year, if they graduate, if they want to come in and try to contribute in bowl practice, and he's indicated that he may be interested in doing that. Obviously it will help his development, and it will help us by having another hand at that position, which is always important, whether it's scout team or taking reps, with the first and second team in terms of his development. But Ty is really they won the state championship. Won the Player of the Year in Tennessee. Guy's got a really good arm. He's very accurate. He's smart. He's kind of one of those guys that loves football, is always asking football questions, wants to learn as much as he can. I think sometimes those guys get referred to as football junkies, but that's a good thing, and certainly a good thing at the quarterback position. I think he's bright, he's smart, he's a good decision maker, he's very instinctive as a player. He can make plays with his feet. I just think in every way, he was the guy we targeted in this class as being the guy that we wanted, and we felt very fortunate that we were able to get him.
That's Coach Nick Saban talking about Ty Simpson, 6'2", 185 quarterback out of Westview High School in Martin, Tennessee. Coach's kid that seems to have the right attitude. Plans to enroll early and be a part of bowl practice. I did not verify if he did that or not, but another guy did that a few years back for Alabama, and Jalen Hurts was able to help that team get ready for the bowl game. And, hey, maybe Ty Simpson gives them a little bit more of the Cincy quarterback in terms of his preparation. Who knows? And definitely may give us a little bit more of what you'll see in Stetson Bennett and the kid from Michigan in terms of their preparation. So we'll see, but glad to know that he's a part of the team. I want to thank the guys who've been patient through the break. Joe, you're in with the Martin Houston Show. What's on your mind, sir?
Good morning, Marvin. I hope I'm not repeating what someone else may have said, but I'm going back to the Houston basketball game.
You're fine with whatever you want to bring, sir.
Yeah, well, I had to watch it on replay because I taped it, and I didn't see the Memphis. But I noticed something in the Houston game. It seems that the officials had thrown out the rule of 3 seconds in the lane. If you go back and watch that game, multiple times, those offensive rebounds, the Houston players had been there 6 or 7 seconds, setting their position.
Yeah.
And then 6, 7, 8 seconds standing right there in the lane under the goal.
Yeah. Well, and what I didn't realize it was that long, but Joe, what you have to do as a team is figure out that it's sort of like fouls sometimes. And some officials call certain things and don't call certain things. Like some guys call touch fouls more than others. Some guys let you play more than others. I even saw in the Memphis game, Joe, they called a carry, and I'm like, oh, that they do that all the time. I mean, I don't know what that guy did. I think he jumped when he did it, and so the official called it. But if Houston was in the lane, and I need to go back and watch it to see to verify. But you said you watched it on replay, so you saw that. Then Alabama has to adjust to that. That the biggest thing is they were even if there was times, Joe, that number 13 was moving in and out and everywhere, and nobody had him. Number 13 never had a body on him, ever. And so even with that 6-second rule, which I won't argue with you there. Alabama has to have to body up.
Yeah, I understand. They've got to call it both ways.
They do.
I haven't heard anybody else mention this.
Yeah, and I didn't pick up on it, so that's why I didn't mention it. But
I just thought it was an observation that people go, you know what? I see it now because on replay I was able to, go over and over and start counting the seconds.
Yeah.
So,
now,
So
now
what?
Joe, they may do it like, you ever notice how they do the 30-second rule? The play clock. In sports, you know what they do, and fans get so upset. The 25-second clock in football or whatever, they're looking at the clock. When the clock goes to 0, they turn and find the ball, and if the ball hasn't been snapped by the time they do that, they then take it out and throw it. So these officials, you start counting immediately. They probably don't. And then they have that long arm that's like 1,001. I think there's probably a second between their counts. 1,002. No, seriously. You got anything else for us, Joe?
No, that was it. It was just an observation. Thought I'd mention it.
Oh, absolutely. Where are you from, Joe?
Tuscaloosa.
Thanks for calling, man. I appreciate that insight. Call back anytime.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Robert from Mobile, you're in with the Martin Houston Show. What's on your mind, sir?
Hey, man.
Hey, now.
Hey, let's try to listen to the conversation you had with Pat the other day. I guess I misunderstood what he was talking about. I thought he was more concerned about, the name, image, and likeness thing, and it probably was an influential factor in the kids going to the school.
I think he was. That's why I said I don't think he was coming at it from. I don't think Pat was coming at that from a race standpoint. I do think that's what he was trying to say is, why would a kid go to Jackson State when he could be exposed to whatever from Alabama or Michigan or Georgia, when the kid could go anywhere in the country? Why would he go there? I think that's what he was asking. Like I said, I don't think it was racial motivated, but I was trying to explain why kids choose. You don't always know what's behind it.
No, and then, when he's got on the choice thing, as if, the kid can't choose to go there. That's not like there's something wrong if he chooses to go there.
Right.
And I go think it's focus on the reason why, which, the image of likeness is going to, and what you can make off of it, is going to be a factor now in where these kids choose to go.
But see, I think that's a faulty. I think name, image, and likeness is a faulty analysis of why he chose to go there only. Because if the kid's going to get if the kid's going to get a name, image, and likeness deal at Jackson State, wouldn't he get a name, image, and likeness deal anywhere in the country? He was the number one recruit in the entire nation. So he probably has been offered quite a few. Hey, because they can't say if you go here, okay? So if he has a deal pending with Barstool, he probably had a deal pending with Barstool no matter where he went.
Well, it would be impossible to prove otherwise. So
yeah,
can that be a factor? Will that be a factor? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it will be, but until you prove it, that's just speculation.
Well,
and so they let them go with doing what they want to do. It's just speculation, but you have nothing to prove of that.
Well, Miami is under investigation for doing that, and there's one other school that they're investigating them because they think that they did do it intentionally, which they have to prove it. But I don't think
you better learn to do the way Nick Saban did. You better learn to do the way Nick Saban did with, Bryce. I heard he got $800,000.
Hey,
that's how you must do it.
Did you hear? Did you hear Jimbo Fisher respond? I'm not a Jimbo Fisher fan, but did you hear what he said?
I've heard bits and pieces of it.
He said name, image, and likeness deals have been being brokered. They're just now legal.
Sure.
So his point is kids have been choosing schools based on being offered deals before. Now it evens the playing field, because you know what? There are probably some alumni from Jackson State that has money equal to alumni from Alabama, right? And now legally they can offer that without worrying about getting caught and pointed out. So you may have some of these. I think it's going to even out recruiting. I think there's going to be kids. Let me tell you, Robert, if this kid goes on and if this kid, there's a bunch of Power 5 programs right now sweating. You know why? Because if this kid goes to Jackson State, sets all types of records and all of that, and ends up being the number 1 overall draft pick from Jackson State or anywhere in the top 10 from Jackson State, every school between Jackson State and Alabama now knows that they can compete for the top players in the country. Where before, we made a big deal that Oliver chose to go to Houston, the only 5-star to go to a non-Power 5 school. So
yeah, and it was a big deal, even by a lot of analysts. I mean, that surprised everybody. So
right.
Pat pointed out, everybody pointed out. Because that was unusual.
It's totally unusual.
I don't think it'll start a huge trend.
No.
But yeah, you can definitely do it as a path to go. That'll be a part of the education, and people always banter about it. I find it so amusing. We get a good education here versus there. Education just gets you in the door.
Yeah.
It does not guarantee, it does not signify what success you're going to get. I've been listening to a bunch of Harvard grads and Princeton grads lately, especially with politics and things like that, who sound pretty stupid when they say things. So I'm not so impressed about the education here. It depends on the student and what they do.
Correct.
As far as that's a huge factor in it. Because some places, like you said, with computer science, that way program, but it's up to you what you do when you get out. And that's the main thing. You get a good education anywhere.
Right.
So, Jackson State gives just a good education as Harvard.
And Michael Strahan pointed it out yesterday. If you're good, they can find you anywhere now. Used to not be that case, but now they can. Thanks, Robert. Appreciate it, man.
All right, man.
All right, coming back on the other side, we'll kick off the second half of the Martin Houston Show. If you want to get in on the conversation, 205-342-9904.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
From the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center, no active wrecks as we begin our Friday morning. Traffic fairly light. If you do see conditions throughout the day, just give us a call, 205-886-8886. It's the end-of-year clearance right now at Townsend Nissan. A great selection, low finance rates, and they need your trade. Go see them. I'm Captain Ray.
Dell Technologies' end-of-year sale is the perfect time to upgrade tech. Save big on the latest computers featuring Windows 11 Pro that easily automate workflows. Don't forget to shop servers, storage, and top-brand electronics with savings up to 45% and all with free shipping. Call a Dell Technologies advisor to help you transform your digital workspaces with comprehensive end-to-end solutions. Find the right tech for your business needs at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Shop 50 to 70% off almost everything at Gap Factory and GapFactory.com. This week only, plus new deals on stocking stuffers. Save through December 20th at Gap Factory and GapFactory.com.
Word of mouth has Dante's dental clinic thriving.
17 new patients? Nice. Is this next month's calendar?
But he needs another dentist to give his schedule a good cleaning.
This week? You're kidding. Oh, you're not?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Join Randy Smalley and me, Captain Ray, for the Randy and Ray Football Forecast, where we pick the games against the spread. It's this Friday at 7 on Tide 100.9. We'll be looking at the bowl games and the national championship matchups. Hope you'll join us. I'm Captain Ray.
Crimson Village Senior Living is an assisted living and dementia care facility located in Tuscaloosa. The Crimson Village motto is "We Own Fun." We've extended our dementia care for the need of the community. If your loved one is in need of a home that specializes in memory care, provides fun and entertainment to help with cognitive skills, and is surrounded by fun-loving friends, please come take a tour at Crimson Village. Ask for Tim, 1410 18th Avenue East, Tuscaloosa, 35405. 404. Visit crimsonvillage.com. That's crimsonvillage.com.
Nick Saban calls it the process. John Maxwell said that everything rises and falls on it. And Coach Wooden said it's what you learn after you think you know it all that makes the difference. What am I talking about? Leadership and personal development. Is your organization, your school, your church, your family, are they receiving the proper level of leadership development and personal development? If not, the Empowerment Center for Leadership and Mentoring can help you with that. We have our pep talks, which is a 1 to 1.5 hour lunch and learn, which we can customize to meet your needs, or we have some topics that we present that we know can help your organization. And if you're looking for one-on-one mentoring and coaching, we can also assist you with that. Visit peptalks35.com. That's peptalks35.com, or send an email to martin@martinhouston.org. That's the Empowerment Center for Leadership and Mentoring. Hello, I'm Martin Houston, and I'm so excited about this time of the year because it represents not just football, but the season of the birth of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. On behalf of Harvest Church and the Martin Houston Show, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and invite you to join Harvest Church on Sundays at 10 a.m. and Wednesdays at 6 p.m., where we're creating and enabling faithful followers of Christ. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the Martin Houston Show and Harvest Church.
Emmanuel is a great athlete. He played a lot of positions in high school. I've asked him on numerous occasions, what do you want to play? And he just says, I'll play whatever you need me to play, whatever I can do to help the team. But I think the guy has special athletic ability, probably could be a receiver, probably could be a running back. Where he fits the best, we'll probably be able to figure out better, once he gets here and we start working with him and can actually, sort of evaluate his skill set firsthand. But we think he's an outstanding young man and an outstanding, player that has, great potential. But again, everybody's got to be focused on what do I have to do to develop as a player, and what kind of mindset do I have to focus on the process of what I need to do it, and how much self-discipline I have to get it done. And Emmanuel seems like the right kind of guy to do those things.
That's Coach Nick Saban talking about Geneva County High School, Emmanuel Henderson. A guy, Joe, when you think about recruiting, kind of quietly committed to Alabama, no hoopla, no one really talked about where he sat amongst the nation's best in terms of recruiting. But, currently the highest ranked, running back in the country, Emmanuel Henderson. I know we put up a story on him at Tide 109. Did you watch any of the film on this young man?
Well, actually, yeah, he looks like a guy that might have the potential to be special. We put up a story several weeks ago when he cleared, I think it was 5,000 career rushing yards.
Yep.
Or I believe he broke the Geneva County high school record for career rushing yards. And I was able to watch some of his huddle tape. He is smooth.
Yeah,
he is a smooth athlete, and for a guy who he's obviously clearly faster than everybody else on tape, he doesn't look like he's working hard at all as he's flying down the field.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. He's 6'1", 185, but has a nice frame. And you talk about that kind of smooth. He seems to run high. And not saying he's Eric Dickerson, but if you go back and watch a guy like Eric Dickerson, he's not quite as tall as Derrick Henry, so you can't put him in that category. But he's 6'1"-ish, and as you said, just smooth and seems to have good strength when he gets in a pile for a guy his size. And I think he has a frame that don't be shocked if he's a kid that's 205. In terms of what he does. But one of the things I like about him, Joe, is he fits that Nick Saban mold of a multi-sport athlete, track and basketball. So he can do more than just play football. And then, of course, coming from a small high school, I was like, well, is he going to get that rep of well, he was just so much better than the competition. That's why he's good. I know another guy that they said that about, and he left Tuscaloosa with a Heisman Trophy. And Derrick Henry, everybody used to say, well, he's that good because he was just bigger than everybody.
And Martin,
go ahead.
Since he just signed his letter of intent, do you think we can throw him into uniform for a Cotton Bowl? We're short on running backs.
That would be great. He probably could actually help the running back room. And I think Joe, he's given us. Now I don't know what Kamar Wheaton. We didn't get to see him really play a lot, but we saw down the stretch. Christian Leary was beginning to get a little more of a few more reps, and I think it's about the passing game and creating mismatches. And I think Emmanuel Henderson brings that to the table. I think he would definitely be able to help the team if we could slip him in. Maybe to a jersey of a number of someone that's standing on the sideline, but. Bama did good with this young man, and like I said, I think if he wasn't from wasn't from the state of Alabama, Joe, I think we'd be giving him more love. I think we tend as fans, if guys are local, we don't feel as impressed about them in their rankings as we do when it's somebody from California or whatever. This kid is as high ranked as Najee was coming out of high school, number 30 overall recruit, and number one running back in the nation. And how many times have you heard his name mentioned as far as being somebody to come in and help the Tide win? And I think he is one of those guys.
Yeah, I think he's one of those guys for sure. And you're right. He's been one of the underrated, under the radar type prospects. You heard a lot more about Jeremiah Alexander and guys like Earl Little and Curtis Perry. But, he committed. He stuck to his commitment, and he signed on the first date. So he seems like I think he's going to be a guy that a lot of Alabama fans are going to be happy with maybe 2 years down the line.
I agree. He's the third-ranked, highest-rated recruit in the class. Jeremiah Alexander, Ty Simpson, Emmanuel Henderson, the 3 5-stars that's in the barn for Alabama. They're still after a couple more. We'll break down this class in its entirety on the other side right here on the Martin Houston Show.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
From the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center, no wrecks, but very foggy conditions in parts of Tuscaloosa County. So please slow down and be careful this morning. If you do see conditions, of course, give us a call. 205-886-8886. It's the end of year clearance right now at Townsend Nissan. A great selection, low finance rates, and they need your trade. Go see them. I'm Captain Ray.
Here's what's trending on the Tuscaloosa thread.
Good Friday morning. The Omicron variant has officially made its way to West Alabama. Officials have confirmed that with the Alabama Department of Public Health, a resident in West Central Public Health District is the first case of the variant in the state. Dr. Scott Harris, Alabama State Health Officer, told the Associated Press he wasn't surprised the variant popped up in the state. It had only been a matter of time before it would happen, considering several surrounding states have already reported the variant. I'm Don Hartwig.
Hello, this is Martin Houston with the Martin Houston Show, and I want to tell you about Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing. If you're looking for a way to add value to your home, make your flower beds pop, make your landscaping stand out from your neighbors, then Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing can help you do just that. They have numerous styles, but they feature the Moroccan Stone Curb series, which includes 4 great styles and unlimited color choices. That's Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing. They are the one that can help you stand out from your neighbors. Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing, 205-331-6823. You may also find yourself with the need for a custom size stone or custom shaped stone. Then Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing can help with that as well. Paul Fuller and his team are waiting on your call right now for that free quote. And if you tell them that Martin Houston with the Martin Houston Show told you to stop by, you'll get a big discount. So call Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing at 205-331-6823 or visit them online at Tuscaloosa Custom Carving LLC.
Dash in for JCPenney Super Saturday Sale. It's the last weekend to shop before Christmas, so make room in your sleigh for thousands of doorbusters. Hurry, wrap up the savings Friday to Sunday.
Man the Bootman here inviting you to check out Irvin's new fall arrivals from Wrangler, Ariat, Carhartt & Co. You'll find locally owned, friendly service, low prices, and one of the best selections around. Irvin's also has a great selection of boots for men, women, and children, along with a nice selection of drastically marked down boots and shoes for men and women. I do want to let all of our Irvin's loyal customers know that we're currently experiencing delayed shipments on boots, bottoms, and shirts. So shop now for the best selection. As always, thank you for your support, and remember to tell them Van the Bootman sent you.
Before you roll in to watch the Tide, roll into Mary's Travel Center, just off I-59 to exit 86 in Brookwood. They have all the snacks, cold beverages, and ice you need for tailgating. If you're hungry, step next door to Subway or to the Huddle House and eat before or after the game. Before you leave for the game, be sure and fill your tank with Marathon Gas. Mary's Travel Center, just off I-59 to exit 86 in Brookwood. Locally owned by the Gibson family. Mary's Travel Center says roll Tide.
Don't miss a play at the Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Your front row seat to all the action. Place bets on all professional and most college sports at the counter, kiosk, or on your phone. Then catch the game on one of our 20 big screens from the comfort of the newly remodeled Timeout Lounge. Plus, the PRR Sports app gives you access to live, in-play sports betting. Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Be more than a fan. Be a player. Must be 21.
Whether you're tailgating on the quad or gathering with family and friends to watch the Bama game, let Robertson's Barbecue do the cooking for you. Their tailgate specials include 2 pounds of BBQ or 2 chickens, quart of beans, slaw, potato salad, buns, sauce, and a 2-liter drink for $44.99 plus tax. Or get a whole Boston butt with buns, sauce, quart of beans, potato salad, slaw, and a 2-liter drink for $54.99 plus tax. For catering, call Renee Robertson at Robertson's Barbecue, 205-361-6806.
I'm Martin Houston, and I really get excited during football season, but nothing excites me as much as the Christmas holiday season. On behalf of the Alabama One family and the Martin Houston Show, we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Please stop by one of our branch locations because we'll be open to serve you throughout the Christmas season. And don't forget, you can visit alabama1.org. And once again, Merry Christmas from Alabama One, one together.
So, Curtis is really a good player. He's got great initial quickness. He's a good pass rusher. Guy's very, very productive. He's very instinctive. He runs well. So, we were excited, to get him. And we wanted to get some guys like that are athletic. And, Jaheim is a big guy that hard to block. And I think we still need to get some guys like that for certain situations. And Isaiah Hastings has a lot of upside and ability. He's only played 1 year of American football this year, but we were really impressed with his ability and his upside and what he can become.
That's Coach Nick Saban talking about the D-line class that Alabama was able to sign. Alabama currently the number 2 class in the nation. But, Joe, when you look at the average ranking per player, Alabama is higher this year than last year in terms of the ranking. Last year, they were 94.99. This year, 95.17. That could go up or down based on what happened. I'd like to get your thoughts with Joe, real quick, Joe, on will Alabama get Dominique Jackson today? What are your thoughts? Crystal ball.
I don't think they will. I think that Eli Ricks transferring over from LSU, and I think that bringing in Earl Little, cornerback from American Heritage. I think that'll not scare. That's not the right word, but will encourage Dominique Jackson to commit to the USC Trojans today.
Yeah, and I'm kind of hedging. I'm like, okay, Nick Saban knew what his decision was, regardless. I think Nick Saban took Ricks knowing either he was going to get Domani Jackson anyway, and they had that conversation, or he knew that Domani had changed his mind and was leaning that way. if we get Damani Jackson with the fact that we got Riggs, or our defensive backfield just got really, really good, really, really fast, really talented. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say, you don't ever know how these kids are going to pan out. So I'm going to go, oh, man, Joe, do I go out on a limb, say they got it? Maybe. Yeah, I'm going to say he commits. And if I'm wrong, guess what? I'm wrong. All right. Hey, Alabama definitely did some serious business in terms of the team. Real quick, Alabama kids, 6 kids from Alabama, 6 kids from Florida, 4 from Georgia, 3 from Louisiana, 1 from Mississippi, Ohio, Tennessee, Texas, and Virginia. Maybe Sarkisian shutting down the state of Texas along with Jimbo Fisher, but Alabama's still getting a haul with ending up with, of course, 3 5-stars in the class, along with 2 3-stars and all others coming in, and the 4-star rank being a total of 19. Hey, if you want to find out more about these recruits individually and the makeup of this class, no better place than Tide 100.9, Tide100.9.com, and you can get all the information you want on each one of these players individually. Good luck to the Crimson Tide on tomorrow. We'll be talking probably more recruiting and start talking about practice. That's right, practice with the Alabama Crimson Tide as they get ready for Cincinnati Bearcats. I'm Martin Houston, wishing you a great weekend, inviting you to come out. If you're in need, come to Harvest Church at 10 o'clock on Saturday. If you're in need, we'll be giving out food baskets and some toys for families in need. First come, first serve. That's Harvest Church in Coker. Thank you for all that you do. Remember this, trust in the Lord always. Lean not your own understanding. All your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. I'm Martin Houston. That's Joe Gaither. Thanks to all the callers, listeners, chatters, viewers, and followers. We'll wishing you a blessed weekend, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year, and we'll catch you on Monday.
Thank you for listening to the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app. Tide 100.9 traffic.